Hi, 658. So, for question number one, what makes an effective teacher? There's a lot that goes into making an effective teacher. I personally believe that one of the most important aspects of being an effective teacher is your ability to recognize your students' current skills and then ability to work with them on improving these skills. The best way to help students improve their skills is through scaffolding. For example, if you want to teach a child a skill, you may first need to prompt them. And then once they begin to learn that skill, you could eventually fade out your prompt using the least restrictive prompt possible. Eventually, the student will learn the skill and the prompt will no longer be necessary. Another thing I believe makes an effective teacher is classroom management. It is important to be able to manage the students in the class and to be able to set them up in a way that they could be successful. For example, if you have two students who are always arguing with each other, you will be sure to seat these students far away from each other. When managing a classroom, it's important to praise the students who are behaving appropriately as opposed to simply correcting the students who are misbehaving. For example, if all of your students are sitting down for circle time and part of the class is acting up and making noise, and then the other part of the class is sitting nicely, you'll want to praise each of the individual students who are behaving appropriately until eventually the other students catch on and they begin behaving appropriately as well in order to receive that praise. One more thing I believe makes an effective teacher is the teacher's ability to connect with the student's parent and with the student's team of therapists. It's important for the teachers to be able to communicate with the student's providers so everyone can be on the same page. As for question number two, in my experience as both a teacher and a student, I found that scaffolding and positive reinforcement are definitely two of the most effective teaching methods. Um, I'm currently working with a student right now on imitating actions, and we're working on clapping hands. And when we first began, I had to do a full hand over hand, clap hands, and clap her hands for her. Eventually, I was able to slightly fade the prompt and just lift her hands, and she'd clap them on her own. Now I could tap her hands, and she knows to clap her hands after I give her the direction to clap hands. So eventually, the goal is, of course, for her to clap her hands independently. Um, I also feel that positive reinforcement is extremely important in the classroom because it keeps the students motivated and it encourages positive behavior. As for question number three, right now I'm currently a teacher aide. However, one thing I feel that I could do to make myself more effective is to remember to continue praising students who are behaving appropriately.